everybody out there in Mathland. Today for third grade, we are doing our performance task for third grade on our finding volume, mass, and different things right here in third grade. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy this morning. I apologize. Okay, so performance task. Usually the way we do these in the classroom is that we separate them by the superheroes in your table and each of you takes over one. But today I'm actually going to guide you through them. So you want to make sure you turn to this page in your textbook when you're following along with my lesson. This is page 587 and I'm going to walk you through these problems. Okay, here we go. So you decide to keep track of the weather today. The rain begins 14 minutes before 1. The rain stops at 2:45. How many minutes does the rain last? So 14 minutes before 1, okay? So before 1, what time comes in the clock? That would be like noon, so that would be 12. So we know it's 12 something, our start time, okay? And it's 14 minutes before that. So I can take 60, which is how many minutes are in an hour, and take away 14 to see how many minutes were on the clock at that time. So I cannot take 4 away from 0, so I have to borrow from 6, make it a 5. This would be a 10. 10 minus 4, that's 6. 5 minus 1 is 4. So the clock was at 12:46 when that rain begins, okay? And then it says it stops at 2:45. So how many minutes does the rain last? Well, let's do some jumps here. So if it started at 12:46, I can add a whole hour until 1:46. So this is 1 hour, which is 60 minutes. Now the next step would be 2:45. Look at that. A whole hour would be 2:46. So it's 2:45. So it's 1 less minute than an hour. So really it's 59 minutes. So you have 60 plus 59 to see how many minutes the rain lasts. So 60 plus 59. So that would be, the answer would be, and I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to put it on top of the umbrella, 119 minutes. That's how long it rained for. Okay, B, write another way to say the time the rain stops. So write another way. Well, if it stopped at 2:45, I can say that that's 15 minutes before 3. Because if you're at 15 to 2:45, you'll get 3 p.m. So that's another way to say it. Then it says the rain starts again 48 minutes after it stopped the first time. What time would that be? So I have to take the 2:45 of when it stopped, and I have to add 48 minutes to it. So I'm going to do my little number line here, 2:45. Let's start adding until we get to 48, okay? I'm going to start with adding 15 minutes so I can get to 3 o'clock, okay? So far I've added 15 minutes. 48, I'm going to take away 15 minutes so far. That's 3. 33 minutes left. So now to 3 o'clock, I add those 33 minutes. And I'm going to have 3:33. That is the time that is now, 48 minutes after 2:45. Okay? Moving on. This morning you set a beaker outside before it started to rain. You check the beaker after the first time the rain stops. Write the amount. So you set a beaker outside before it started to rain. So properly empty. You check the beaker after the first time the rain stops. Write the amount. So if this is 500, each of these is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So it is not a 500 yet. It's actually one notch below. So that's 100, 200, 300, 400 milliliters. Part B, you check the beaker after the last time the rain stops. The beaker has 200 more milliliters of water. What is the total amount of water in the beaker today? So 400 is what you started with. We have 200 more. That would be 600 milliliters, okay? Did you collect more or less than half of a liter of water today? Well, a liter of water, 1 liter of water has 1,000 milliliters? And I know that because there's 500 here and 500 there, so that's 1,000. So did you collect more or less than a half? The half would be 500. You collected 600. That means that you collected more than half a liter. Why? Because 600 is greater than 500. That's your explanation right there. Sorry if you couldn't see it. And last problem for today, and then I'm going to explain a game that's in the back. It's pretty cool. You color the model to show the number of days it rained last week. What fraction of the week did it not rain? So you color the model to show the numbers of days it did rain. What fraction did it not rain? Well, if this is a fraction and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts, that means that my denominator is 7. There's 7 days in a week. Now, here's the confusing part. There's 4 shaded, so we might be tempted to say, oh, 4 out of 7. But it is colored for the days that it did rain. We want the days that it did not rain. So we want the blank spaces. That's 1, 2, 3. My final answer is 3/7, okay? Now, this game I'm going to explain how to play just in case you want to do it at home. It's actually pretty cool. You play with another person, so 2 people can play. You need 1 die. You take turns rolling it. So let's say I go first. I roll and I get a 2. I have to do and figure out how many minutes it went from the start time to my end time, okay? I know that right off the bat, that's 19. So then you go over here and these are your answers, okay? 19, is 19 minutes less than half an hour or more than half an hour? Well, half an hour is 30 minutes, so 19 is less. So find one of the ones that say less and write your name in that box. That box now belongs to you. Then it's the next person's turn. So if they're rolling it a 5, for example, they can find a 5 here and solve it to see how many minutes went from here to here. This would be 17 minutes. This would be 47 minutes, the answer to that one. 47 minutes is more than 30, so it's more than half an hour. So find one of those and put the opponent's name right here. And you can play it and see who gets the most little spaces by the end of the game. It's kind of a fun game. You can also play games online. In the math book, there's a section with games that you can play. I'm going to try to find a way to show you that in a video so you can play those math games. And remember, you can always go to iExcel and do the lessons that correspond with the lessons we teach for this chapter, because that's a good extra practice to do as well. Now, for the homework for this stuff, this is usually when I start assigning the review pages at the end of the chapter. And the review pages are actually 4 pages total, so I assign 2 a night. But I think the online book will only allow me to assign the whole 4 pages. But please know that the whole 4 pages won't actually have to be done in one night. You can do half of it today and half of it tomorrow if you want. I still make all the homework due on Sunday anyway, so you can pace yourself as best as you see. So I just don't want you to be nervous. It's like, wow, I have to do 4 pages online of homework. No, you can only do 2 if you want, or half the problems if you want. Or if you're feeling ambitious, you can go for the whole thing. I'm kind of letting you decide how to do that. And yeah, it's going to be great. So I hope you understood all these problems and you do your homework today and catch up. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.